Hogwarts Legacy has just dropped something that can be insanely huge for the launch of the game, and to be quite honest, looking at the first week of launch, it has been so crazy and hectic, and I do apologize for not uploading Hogwarts Legacy content. As I promised you guys, it's just been so crazy, and I thought it'd be better to upload other gaming content for the time being. But anyways, we're back to Hogwarts Legacy here, and we're going to be talking about possible DLC that's coming, and not just one, but actually two, thanks to the community's effort in finding certain game files that have made this all be possible. But once again, before we start, if we can just get 8 likes on this video, that will do wonders for me. That's all I ask for. And if you get to the end of the video, you don't like the video, just make sure you guys go ahead, turn it into dislike, whatever you guys want, and let's get straight into the video. So we're going to be talking about future DLCs, right? What is DLC potential for Hogwarts Legacy? Once again, I've said this before in my videos, potential is insanely high. DLC for Hogwarts Legacy can mean so many things, and I know what's burning in people's mind is that Quidditch. Now that is, for example, the final boss. That's what we want to reach in the end goal. But what we have is a certain player, I'm not going to name in this video or show the clip for obvious reasons, has found in the game files 2 files that go by the name of DLC unused. This is, once again, I quote from the files this player has found. What does this mean for us? Once again, this is extremely huge because it's not just 1, but it's 2, and it could honestly go 2 possible ways. So I'm gonna go and start by explaining first the less exciting way, because you always want to give the bad news first before the good news, right? What is the less exciting? Well, the less exciting, for instance, is that these 2 DLC game files that are unused could just be an error on, for example, Avalanche Software's side, or WB Games, whoever was in charge of that portion. And it could quite honestly just be the Dark Arts pack in general, because as we know, that is the only currently confirmed DLC we have in the game. However, this could also mean it is something else that is unknown. Now this could be, for example, an expansion on quest line. It can be an expansion on even as big as Quidditch, or something a little bit less than that, where it's just an introduction to Quidditch, and it can be so much more, as far as even expanding the maximum level you can attain. Because as we know, and I don't want to dive too much into this because I have a lot more stuff to cover in this video, but there's a certain level that you can reach to earn a certain amount of skill points, meaning you cannot actually cap all your skill points within the game for the character that you have. So expanding the level would allow you to gain more skill points so that you can further your build and have more spells that are maxed out, etc. So let me know what you guys think below in the comment section on this, right? Is this huge? What could this mean for possible DLCs? Or is this once again just bummer news, and it quite honestly is just the Dark Arts arena? Or is Avalanche Software pushing forward with the insane launch that Hogwarts Legacy has received, and we're already heading towards a possible DLC? Now the next set of news we have is regarding the Twitch drops that have been going on, and by the time you guys see this video, we have reached the tail end of the drops. But do not be scared, because there's actually some good news we have regarding the drops actually coming back, and if you're still looking for that Merlin robe, you can still get your hands on it. Chandler with WB Games, not Avalanche Software. So once again, more on the marketing side, not the developers, those would be Avalanche Software, but in general, he's put out a tweet saying that if you had missed those drops, they will be returning soon, and you can go ahead and get those drops. Now when it comes to Twitch drops, this is probably the best thing you can do when the game launches, and I think Hogwarts Legacy has done a pretty decent job at it, especially with how massive the launch was, from early access all the way through to full-on blown access, which was pretty much the last Friday by the time you guys are seeing this video. So this is going to be great news for a lot of people, because they can finally get their hands on those drops. And if you guys are looking for basically how to actually do that whole, I can make a video on that, but it's pretty simple. All you have to do is pretty much just make sure that you connect your game account with your Twitch account. Kind of works the same way how Twitch Prime works in general, so make sure you guys do look up guides on how to do that. And lastly, I wanted to finish off by going ahead and addressing the actual launch of Hogwarts Legacy, because this is probably, and honestly kind of weird, but this is my first video since the launch of Hogwarts Legacy on Hogwarts Legacy. I know what you're thinking, where have you been the past week? Quite honestly, I've been playing the game and playing other games as well. I've been super busy in real life, so I just wanted to kind of give you guys a quick recap, and to sum it all up, this game has done insane numbers. So if you've been keeping up with my community tab and my other posts as well, which I suggest you guys do to keep up to date with the greatest news for Hogwarts Legacy, basically what had happened is that Hogwarts Legacy has ranked #1 for all time launches for a single player game. This is not an easy task to achieve, right? I mean, you're going against some insane titles out there. You're going against God of War titles, which is just hard to beat. You're going against Zelda titles, which is once again a Nintendo exclusive, but has an insanely high player base. And for example, Elden Ring, the list goes on and on and on. Skyrim, etc. There are so many examples out there of some ridiculously successful single player RPGs games, right? So what I want you guys to take into account is this is not an easy genre to win in, right? There's certain genres out there, like for example, maybe sports games here and there, you can kind of get away with winning, but this is a genre that's probably the most competitive in nature because the quality of the game really has to be out there. But long story short, right, with this ranking, the game received over a million concurrent viewers live, millions of viewers across YouTube, etc. That's just Twitch in general. So it's a lot of good numbers. What does this mean for the gaming community versus the content creators, right? Let me talk about the content creation side. What this meant is that the competition for Hogwarts Legacy was through the roof, right? Competition was so high that if you were a small content creator like myself uploading Hogwarts Legacy at that time, it made no sense. So what I did was, well, I started doing other games, God of War, etc. I covered other RPGs because it pretty much made no sense to actually play Hogwarts Legacy at that time and upload that content, because, well, what content was I going to upload, right? You had, for example, large content creators that have had early access to the game, and they have pretty much received the game almost 2 weeks before the rest of us, right? And I'm in that same boat as you, as I didn't get that insanely early access. So what happened was, when the embargo was lifted on basically February 7th, is that those content creators, I'm not going to name just because I don't want to put any shame or blame onto them, because hey, everyone has to cook, let them cook. That's a saying that's been going on for a while recently, because everyone just wants to be successful in general. But what happened is they flooded YouTube with content they had planned over the weeks, where if you just got the game, you're already behind weeks on launch day. Does that kind of make sense? So there's nothing you can do. Your content was just not going to do well at all as a small content creator versus big content creators, or even medium-sized content creators as well, that have received the game early, basically beat the game. You guys know who I'm talking about, I don't have to mention them, and have put out guides for the game, and basically on launch day. That doesn't really make sense. How do you compete with that when you're just receiving the game? So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and move to other games, do other games as well, which worked well for the channel. So I just wanted to give you guys a quick spiel as to where I've been and why I made that decision. Let me know if you guys have been making content as a small content creator, how it's been, because I guarantee you probably agree, launch week was probably the worst week ever, because that's just how it's going to be. So I made the smart decision to step away from the game, come back now, and hopefully bring the hype back. And don't worry, I'll be doing other games as well. Just wanted to catch you guys up on what's going on. Very successful launch for the game, not very successful for small content creators who unfortunately did not get early access to the game and have just been basically thrown out the door when it came to launch week, because you had content creators uploading months, almost weeks, worth of content on launch day, right? So it's honestly a pretty rough battle, if you're starting out, especially with a game like this with a launch this huge. But yeah, I'm back and we're gonna come strong at this. Thank you guys so much for all the support. Honestly, I'll see you guys in the next video.